As his high school career wound to its close through the 1980-81 school year, Jim McNeil's plans hinged on one driving consideration: getting far from California's suburban San Fernando Valley, where his family had settled as his father pursued a career with the Federal Bureau of Investigation after he left the United States Marine Corps. It was, Jim thought, a reasonable plan for an ambitious young man with dreams of seeing the world, but as is so often the case for such ambitious young men and women with such worldly dreams, financing said academic adventures far from home was not going to be possible without full parental support. And Jim's parents were not planning to offer said support, believing equally reasonably that California's state-run universities would provide their smart and athletic son with a perfectly fine collegiate experience, subsidized with those precious tuition discounts available for in-state students whose parents were conscientious taxpayers in the Golden State, as they were. As he was preparing for and then taking the innumerable standardized admissions tests and completing the complex applications that typically define the latter part of the high school experience for college-bound students, Jim elected to have his PSAT scores sent to his father's alma mater, the United States Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland. The school was one of the country's most selective, sure, but it was located a long way from the Los Angeles suburbs, and it did not charge tuition in the traditional sense, so the financial arguments against Jim's studies far from home would be negated, he figured. Of course, attendance at the Naval Academy was not actually free, as the terms of admission and graduation from Annapolis involved a minimum 5-year commitment on active duty in the U.S. Navy or Marine Corps, conceivably in harm's way after the 4 years of college study. But the average American 17-year-old does not necessarily understand the nuances of such non-cash transactions for services rendered, and plus, that possible payment period and its attendant perils were years away and could be worried about when they needed to be worried about, if then, if ever.